You caught me at a very sensitive, exposed moment. Welcome to the next episode of Footpeg Diaries, our new adventure. This time we're doing it totally differently. The previous one, we got together with friends, we rode somewhere. This time, we're going to our friends. So the guy doing our chase bike riding, his name is Frans, like France, not with a C, not C-E, just S at the back, Frans. Well, there might be a little French angle later on in the story now that I think about it. But we're going to meet Frans somewhere, probably something spectacularly beautiful, vistas in a town somewhere, dodgy, dirty stuff lying around at a garage. That's probably what we're going to do. But we're heading off for a next episode of Footpeg Diaries. So, yeah, well, there's nothing more to say. Let's just ride.
Ask any adventure rider, what's the most tedious part of an adventure trip? And most of them will agree, it's that slog, getting out of town. You're full to the brim with excitement and expectation of what's to come, but still caught up in the chaos, squeezing past the steel cages, ferrying the consuming masses towards their labor-determined value. I know it sounds a little bleak for this time of the morning.
Hello.
Oh, Frans. Who's it, buddy? How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Lekker. How was the ride here?
Safe.
Safe?
Yep.
Yes, well, we'll change that.
Yours?
No, not that safe, but quick.
Good.
Lekker. So, how's your wife?
All good, all good. Kids good?
Just checking. Don't worry about the kids. I'm just asking about the wife.
I know.
So Frans, the plan is as follows. We're going to a town called Parys, which you know very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then somewhere there we're meeting a friend of mine, which an old colleague of mine, a movie star. You also know, did District 6, Invictus, Louis Minnaar.
Yeah?
You'll know him.
Not personally, but...
Yeah, from the movie. So he agreed to show us around his town, which is basically the Vredefort Dome. You know the Vredefort Dome very well.
Do.
I know you're an expert in the Vredefort Dome.
Not an expert, but I've been there.
Yeah. You sell yourself rather big though sometimes when people are not recording you. So we're going to the Vredefort Dome for 2 nights, and we're going to explore it and discover all the niceties. Are you in?
I'm in. All in.
Tot by die skouers. Lovely.
So, off we go again, riding through towns that don't see much tourist activity, for obvious reasons. This is gold mining country. It feeds a lot of people, but it's not pretty. And riding these tarred roads, that just doesn't add any enjoyment to the trip at all.
We just rode through all the gold mine towns, Carltonville, Western area.
Volgwil.
Volgwil, nee, ek wil nie. Dodgy areas, I think. But hey, it gives a lot of people money and a life. But we're about to enter a geological anomaly thing, like it's called the Vredefort Dome. It's an impact site, one of the biggest meteorites that hit the Earth ever. Yeah, and we're not
Millions and millions of years.
millions and millions of years ago. And it's Parys, the town of Parys. Now, you see, it's not Paris. In English, Parys is Paris. So we have fancy places in South Africa as well. Eat that, French people. Like we eat biltong. So we're about to eat Parys. Parys, not the same place. And then we're going to meet Louis and see if he can still ride a bike. Frans! Hey, chili stick. Chili stick. Fritz, chili stick. Yummy, yummy. Dead cow. That's it, here we go.
After our non-vegetarian snack, we force ourselves back onto the last bit of tarred road, crossing the Vaal River with a very long bridge by South African standards, into the Free State Province and the town of Parys, to the home of my dear friend Louis Minnaar.
Lekker. That's it then. Louis.
How are you doing, man?
Lekker and you? Lovely seeing you. Yeah. France, Louis France.
How's it, Frans? How are you doing?
A lot of grey-bearded oaks
Welcome
together.
to Paris. Eh?
Yeah. You remember this one?
What's
Remember this one? This was Giel, the yellow Transalp that I had originally.
You're kidding me.
With
The one you had?
With your KLR and my Giel when we started fly fishing. And France has taken it over and cared for it lovingly ever since.
So,
I brought a little something along from Honda, South Africa.
you're kidding me.
Yeah. Because you have a KLR. Let's leave that here. A little something from Honda, South Africa. You see the vehicle over there?
No, you're not
Yeah.
serious.
Let's go look at it. Okay, let's go look at it.
Man.
So
Don't
it's
let my wife see me on
okay.
this thing.
It's not 1,000 or a something, but it's a. I mean, if you take this radio and take that,
And do what with it?
and pinch it between your knees. That's exactly how light the bike is that I brought you. Feel?
No, I don't trust you. I'm
That's
going
exactly-
to get on, see what it does.
Yeah. Thanks, Oaks. Did you? Is the ladder? Yeah, the
I
ladder's
feel
loose.
like I'm back at school, dude.
Yeah, but
Hey?
you'll be surprised.
Okay, but let's take it off.
Yeah.
Let's see what it's like when it's on
Thanks,
the ground.
guys.
Careful now.
It's plastic.
Don't drop my new bike, man.
It's plastic. Here we
You
go.
can't do this to me, man.
Okay, there you go.
Here we go.
Done.
Have you got it?
Take it for a spin quickly.
No, man.
Yeah, just here. Just fill out
I
feels.
want- There's a coffee there.
Just, yeah,
Let's have a look.
I'll have coffee. You take it for a spin. Just
Kidding me, man.
it's a little thing. It'll keep up. I promise you.
Okay, I must admit, putting one of the tallest guys I know on the brand new CRF 300L makes the bike look a little smaller than it really is.
Feels weird now.
And Louis doesn't look too impressed.
Getting used to a little bike again.
This thing is making me drop my voices.
Is it emotional? What's the reason? Getting emotional
We
about
can
the
have
bike.
fun with this thing.
That's the thing. You can throw this into everything and come
Cool.
out the other side while the rest of us paddle.
Well done. Thank you.
So how's about a coffee?
Absolutely.
Let's
Okay,
go.
guys, you
Let's go
joining
ask
us?
Linda for a coffee. Yeah, it'll work. It'll have to.
Okay,
Let's have
coffee.
Frans, go, coffee.
Coffee.
It's been a long time since we've seen each other, Nick.
We haven't been on bikes together for like 9 years.
Can't be that long.
I'm telling you, it's 9 years. I've been living here for 9 years. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
man.
but we're going to fix that this week. We'll be fixing that.
Okay.
We're going to, yeah.
Especially with-
And I must tell you that you had a great impact on my life. Biking, fly fishing, and there was a time in our lives where we were both rather, like actors are in South Africa, rather jobless for a while. Not unemployed, because we're always unemployed.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But jobless and we spent that time, it's medication basically, riding our bikes and catching trout and yellowfish and
and doing self-therapy.
yeah.
That's quite cool, eh?
Yeah.
More people should do that.
I've never admitted it to you.
Really?
Never? You've never, but you had quite an impact on my life. You've got a thing now where you're focusing on getting healthy through mind power and through a healthy living and through barefoot walking. We'll talk about this later on in the week, this barefoot walking business
Around
of
the
yours.
braai.
Yeah, we're gonna have a nice chat around the campfire. But also about just being quiet and being meditative almost and being centered. Ne?
You're using all these clever words from the city, but you know what? You're right. I moved to the platteland,
To Paris.
to Paris. I moved here so that I could become self-sustaining.
So you moved here and to be more self-sustaining, to be more healthy, to be more centered. But did it really have an impact on your life? Come on.
Absolutely. Let me tell you what happened. When we moved here, I became far more efficient in what I did in everything I did. In my relationships with people, with my writing, my acting, and just being happy with who I am. Purely because of the quiet. It's simple, eh? Does it make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. But we have to go and eat something because it's close on 2 o'clock already.
That's what I'm thinking.
And the crew is getting jittery. I see France is already walking around up and down. So
No, but he didn't take his Ritalin.
that's France. That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Yeah, not at
No, but
France,
you-
Paris.
I'm
Not
here.
Paris, France. Paris, Vredefort, France.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that okay for you?
That was lovely. I struggled to enjoy it because I'm looking at the rain. And it's raining that way, ne?
Yeah, we're going that way. You know that. Yeah. That's what I told you. That's where we have to go.
And you know the roads in the dome when they're wet.
They're like ice.
I only
Not
brought
cold, slippery.
I brought one jacket.
So did I. That's it.
I'm tired of falling.
Me too. So is there plan B?
No, that's the plan. There's a plan A, which is there, going there, and then there's plan A.
Okay, so there's no chance of another dry place to sleep in town tonight?
No.
I can
No,
organize it.
no. We're going out of town. I want to get out of town.
So do I. As long as we don't break that bike.
What? That one? The small red one? That thing won't break. That thing
You
will
sure?
ride over everything. You'll leave us in your dust. Well,
What-
in your mud.
What are you going to tell my wife if you break me?
He was a lovely man.
She'll never believe you.
She knows. She knows the truth.
We headed into the rainy afternoon traffic to go and fill up our bikes. Like one of my friends often says, there's no thrill like petrol. The fact that we didn't have any wet weather gear didn't deter us from pushing into the storm, and Louis seemed to be finding his feet on the new CRF 300, albeit very wet feet. There's a point where you can't get any colder or wetter, where you have to make peace with your dilemma, and that is where we actually started enjoying the mud and rain. And before we knew it, we arrived at Deelfontein Guest Farm, our base of exploration for the next few days. Louis came in with all his landing gear out, like a Cessna pilot second-guessing the length of the bush strip he's aiming for. We eventually got rid of our drenched riding gear, started a fire, opened refreshments, and was joined by our host, Gerard Benardi. If you want to know anything about the dome, this is the guy to talk to.
The area here, it's rather unique, apart from the energy. I mean, apart from him being unique because he's also from close by, but I think that's a lot of psychological issues as well. But it's a very unique area, and there's an energy here. Why is it so special?
Well, it's the oldest and largest recognizable impact structure on Earth. Okay, so let me explain exactly.
How old? Yeah.
How old? It's over 2,000 million years old, so more than 2 billion years old.
What?
Yeah. The Earth is 4,500 million years old, and this is just this side of the half of the Earth age.
But you hear things about the Yucatan Peninsula impact that killed the dinosaurs.
That was 65 million years ago.
Oh, that was basically yesterday then.
That's right. And so what happened is an asteroid hit the Earth. So this thing had a diameter of about 15 kilometers. It was a little planet, and it hit the Earth right, just southwest of where Vredefort is. But, you know, being 15 kilometers large, it made a big hole. But obviously it's 2,000 million years ago. So the Earth's surface at that stage was about a kilometer higher than we're sitting at the moment.
Really?
Yeah, because the rest was eroded in the interim. So what we see here today isn't really a crater. Everybody's looking for a crater, but there's no hole here. What we're seeing here is the result of erosion over 2,000 million years. There was a big inland lake which stretched from Bloemfontein to Johannesburg.
Yes.
And this stone fell in the middle of this lake. All right? The lake had horizontal sediments in it, as lakes do. It fell, made a hole, and then you know what happens when a stone hits the water. There's a rebound.
Yes.
So it went in, and it went in 15 kilometers also. So it was soft, hot stuff at the bottom. And that
It went
rebounded.
in 15 kilometers.
It went in 15 kilometers, yes. Through the crust. And it upturned these sediments so that they stood like this, 60 degrees past the vertical. And if you look at these mountains tomorrow, you will see that they're all slanted at 60 degrees. But then, as I say, this was a kilometer below the Earth. So you had these sediments standing up straight. You had the hard stuff, which is quartzite today. And you had the soft stuff, which was mudstone. And over the 2,000 million years, the mudstone was eroded more and the quartzite less. So we have these concentric ridges of quartzite mountains, and the valleys, like my valley, are lower. And it all forms a circle, you know. So you have these concentric ridges. I think there are about 7 or 8. The oldest one is on the inside.
Yeah.
This was the oldest sediment. It did that. So the inside is the oldest, and the outside of the dome have the youngest ridges. So if you drive from here, from Vredefort to Potch, for instance, you go from inside to outside, old to young.
Old to younger.
That's right.
But people refer to it as a dome. You also refer to it as a dome.
Okay, yes, and that's a geological term. A dome, the dome idea actually refers to a dome of granite that sits below the earth here.
We spoke about a natural way, things of embracing the natural way of living. Not the biosynthesized, estrogen, testosterone injected, fortified, processed life.
Yes.
You have a sense of reality here.
That is very true. Well, living on a farm, I think you have much more of a sense of reality than in a city because you're closer to the origins.
There's a place where certain things happen in the history of the planet that reverberates with the power of a spectacular event, and that lasts forever.
Yes. Well, you see, I'm a natural scientist, so I'm,
yes, of course.
I'm very far from esoteric.
Yes.
But I have to concede that certain environments are inspiring. I mean, that is simply true. I've been all over the planet before that, but I've never actually had the feeling that I'm at home. And when I came here for the first time in the Free State, having been born in the Kalahari and growing up in Natal and living in Germany, for the first time in my life, I had a feeling I'm at home. My choice was to live here. And if you live here, you don't have any choice anymore because nature is right around you. You hear the jackals at night, the caracals catch your sheep, the monkeys eat your figs. You know, I'm really close to nature, and I think the energy results from the fact that you are so close to nature that nature actually tells you what to do. And maybe that's what the energy is.
The tarred roads and subsequent rain curtailed our adventure riding for the day, but it gave us some time for a beer-in-hand history, geology, and philosophy session. What an interesting day. And that's also a big part of adventure riding. Sitting at a fire with interesting people, appreciating where you are and the life around you. Join us again for the next episode of Footpeg Diaries, when we literally take Louis down the river.